Now, your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. So a lot of clear skies currently out there. We're going to notice a few passing clouds and maybe a hit or miss chance of you encountering one of those patchy areas of fog. Going to be a widespread concern. And as far as our temperatures, you got the mid-60s farther to the north. Then you got those temperatures that are holding on to the upper 60s farther south. Effingham right now at 69, 67 in Taylorville. Overall, not too different of a start from what we had back on yesterday. I think we continue to see more of the sunshine today rather than the clouds, but we are going to notice a few more clouds closer to our southern communities, and that's where we'll have that small chance of a storm today. We'll talk about that, plus the slightly higher chances over the weekend coming up. WCIA 3 News starts now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is The Morning Show on WCIA 3 News.
Well, the fall semester is officially underway for some high school students in Central Illinois. Thanks for joining us. I'm McLeod Hageman.
And I'm Christy Batista. Many of those kids are back in person for the first time since March.
That's right. Freshmen at St. Thomas More in Champaign have already had their first in-person day. They gave students the option to choose remote learning, and at least 27 are going to class that way. That means fewer than 200 students are learning in person, so classroom sizes are already smaller. Principal Sister Bridget Martin says the largest classes have 20 students, and seats have been spread out at least 6 feet apart from one another. Those that aren't have dividers in between them.
We want our students to not be paralyzed by the fear of being sick. And so we're going to do everything we can to keep them as safe as we can. That's always, the safety of our students and staff is always our #1 priority. And it looks different this year, but it's not a different goal.
Everyone who comes inside has their temperature checked, and masks are also required unless you're eating. And there's a designated flight of stairs for going up and another for going down. Students are also encouraged to bring their own water bottles because they're not supposed to be drinking from those water fountains.
Tonight, the Springfield School District will take another vote on whether to go fully remote or use a hybrid model. The board originally voted to go hybrid, but the teachers union president says that could change with this new meeting.
There's nothing for certain until the Board of Education votes. I do feel certain that they would not call a special meeting if something had not changed. So I assume that they and the superintendent have been working things out internally, and they know where their votes will lie.
Graves says nearly 3/4 of teachers prefer remote learning.
And like Springfield, school districts and universities in Illinois are being forced to reevaluate whether their reopening plans are safe enough. This comes as positive cases rise in all those regions across all age groups. Now, that's certainly the case in Sangamon County. You've also heard about it in Champaign County, where the two largest districts, Champaign and Urbana, changed their course in the last few days from a combination of hybrid and remote learning to fully remote for the entire first quarter. Some districts have operated on optimism, hoping their classes can happen in person. Others have focused on professional development throughout the summer for remote learning to make sure teachers are better prepared this time around.
It's looking like it's going to be another quiet start for many of us. Not really seeing any fog in any of these views right now on your Roofing Dog and Weather Camera Network, but that's not to say that's not going to be anywhere that you go. Of course, more of those low-lying areas, rural areas are going to have a little more of that moisture to play with, so that's where you might encounter one of them. But overall, Storm Tracker Doppler, quiet here as we start off this morning. If you're looking for moisture, it's going to be well off to the south and to the west. High pressure still in control for us, and will stay in control for a lot of the next couple of days. The only thing that might throw in, or might maybe throw a wrench in some of the afternoon sunshine, will be this wave of moisture farther south, which is going to be continuing to slowly move along. But those of us closer to I-70, keep an eye out for a quick hitting shower or storm. 66 in Champaign this morning, closer to 70 in Effingham, 68 in Indianapolis, and Chicago right now sitting at 70 degrees. We'll watch out for maybe some of those spotty areas of fog, but it shouldn't be much of a concern, and really no big concerns about rain here. Not only just over the next couple of days, but really over the next 7 days, really, as most of the rain is going to dodge the region. But we do have a better chance of rain heading into the weekend, and that comes along with a cool down. We'll talk about it coming up later. Christy and Mac.
All right, thank you, Adam. Well, Sangamon County set a record for COVID-19 numbers this week with 51 new positive cases in a day. The Public Health Department is trying to figure out what the next steps are going to be.
WCIA 3's Cole Hankey spoke with the director and business owner about their worries.
More than 4 months after Sangamon County reported its first case of COVID-19, the county set a record for the highest daily number of new cases. The more than 50 new cases reported on Tuesday are concerning to public health directors and business owners alike. Hallie Pearsall, owner of Darcy's Pint in Springfield, already had to shut down once since reopening.
But we did everything we could to keep people safe. And unfortunately, until things started to get out of control, a lot of people didn't do the same. And so I feel like that's why part of the reason we're in this predicament that we are in right now.
The cases are pretty evenly split across demographics, and there are no hotspots geographically. The Sangamon County Public Health Department is trying to figure out how to handle the increases, and they are left wondering what will finally cause holdouts to take the virus seriously.
I don't know what the magic number is to get their attention. Does it take, a grandma of theirs, a family member, or someone being infected and having a bad outcome? I don't know what's going to be the wake-up call to people to know that, the masks and distancing are the only tools we have at this point.
The numbers for Sangamon County are not where they need to be to revert back to phase 3, but they are trending in the wrong direction. And for Pearsall, the fear of having to shut down again is always looming.
If we keep seeing these increases, then I think that that's a real possibility. And, a lot of places can't handle that again, and I don't even know that we can handle it.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Now, after that record high for a day, Sangamon County reported another 30 new cases. 8 people are in the hospital with the virus in that county.
And taking a look at the latest coronavirus numbers when it comes to positive cases, Champaign County has hit the 1,700 mark. That includes 18 new cases. The 7-day positivity rate is 1.5%. In Moultrie County, officials confirmed 27 new cases. 20 of those are at the Sullivan Rehab and Health Care Center. 5 are currently recovering in the hospital. Overall, the state is reporting more than 1,600 new cases. That brings the total to more than 198,000. 16 more people have died, bringing the total death toll to 7,600 people altogether. And many U of I students will have to use a smartphone app to track COVID-19 test results this semester.
As far as the actual testing goes, the university has set up 16 collection stations throughout campus. Researchers say their saliva tests are fast, accurate, and less expensive than other methods. They're able to do more than 10,000 tests a day. They're processed the same day at the College of Veterinary Medicine's Diagnostics Lab. Students and staff members will be required to use a smartphone to track their results and use it as proof to get into campus buildings. Chancellor Robert Jones talked about this specifically at the Board of Trustees meeting this week.
It becomes important because the phone will be the basis that allows you access to the classroom or not, and then the contact tracing capability of it is part of our strategy to mitigate the spread of the disease. It's critically important.
If a student or faculty member doesn't have access to a phone to show their test results, the university will give them a smartphone. Another conference joins the Big Ten and benches fall sports.
Coming up, reaction from the athletic director when we come back.
This